Good morning. Oh my goodness, we're up so early. Good morning. Do you have your coffee or your tea or whatever you drink in the morning? Grab it and come join me. I'd love to know more about what your experience has been like getting up so much earlier. And I'd like to talk about the other components that we've added to the kit since we chatted last. Um, I'd like to apologize for my morning hair. And I like to give you a few tips for figuring out really how to make this work for you in your schedule. So first, let's talk a little bit about affirmations. Um, Affirmations were this thing for me that I thought seemed so cheesy and too easy to actually work. And I've got to say that the power they have still impresses me. It still blows me away. I'm still like, whoa. So it is really important. Hey Kim, good morning. It is really important to have an affirmation daily. Now, you don't have to change your affirmation every day. You can have the same one. Good morning, Stacy. You can have the same one for a few weeks. I wouldn't do the same affirmation for more than 2 weeks. I think that would be more than enough. Um, because you hopefully after 2 weeks of saying it, things have shifted. And even if you're still, using it to manifest the same thing or put yourself in the same kind of mood, um, really, it's going to need a shift by then. So you're going to want to adjust it. All right, makes sense. Um, Journaling, come on, you got to tell me, right? Like it's awesome to do in the morning to just get those thoughts out of your head. I journal, I would say almost every morning. If I'm in like a real time crunch, sometimes I will just write a few thoughts and then I will return back later. I like to pull angel cards for myself first thing in the morning. So if I'm not even in a space where I can totally think, if my kids are up and all that, I'll just write the meaning of the card and a few thoughts around it and then move on. It doesn't have to be something that takes a really large amount of time. But making time for that really sets up your morning in a great way. I have a little one waking up right now. Morning, buddy. You want to come say hi? No. So you want to be putting yourself in the morning in the best mindset that you possibly can. And hitting the snooze button and then getting up and having to run around like a crazy person and not having time to do everything and feeling rushed and stressed when you start your day is just not a good way to go, right? So you can find just very, very small amounts of time that you can add to your day that are going to make a big difference. It's such a mind trick, don't you think? When your brain tells you that if you sleep for another half an hour, you're going to feel so much better. Like, no, that's not going to make you feel better. It's probably going to make you feel worse when you try to get up in a half an hour, right? Or even an hour, an extra hour in the morning for yourself to be able to go slow, to be able to, fill your own cup up before you go out and try to fill up everybody else's. Is going to give you more energy for your day. It's going to set your day up to be better. Now, if you are making a big adjustment and you're getting up quite a bit earlier than you were before, your body will naturally start to direct you to go to bed a little bit earlier. So if it's possible for you to, do that. And then speaking of going to bed, did you do your sleep meditation last night? And what did you think? Did you like it? Did you feel like it's something you want to do on the regular? I love falling asleep to a sleep meditation. Oh my goodness. I just feel like I sleep so much better. I feel like when I wake up, like there's been work going on. Like my subconscious and conscious mind were working on that stuff as I was sleeping. I love that. And I'm always surprised at how much ease I have with falling asleep. Um, for me, I'm a pretty good sleeper, but I tend to have trouble falling asleep, like transitioning from doing all the stuff, all the things in my day, to going to sleep. That becomes really hard, and falling asleep to a meditation, much easier. Kim said I fell asleep to the meditation last night. Awesome. Don't you love that in the middle of the meditation and you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh. I have a few sleep meditations that I have never heard even the second half of. Like, I don't know what the rest of it is because I fall asleep so quickly. So it's really helpful. You can come say hi if you want to. No? Okay. So I think like when you allow your mind to sort of turn off and ease off with something like a meditation, but you still you sort of like direct your dreams and the work you're going to do in your sleep. And I think that that is really, really powerful to get to do. Stacy says, I love the sleep meditations. I fell asleep so much better and easier and sleep better. Yeah, there's just something to falling asleep that way where you sleep better. Like I feel like I sleep so much deeper when I go into sleep with a meditation. So I'm glad to hear that you guys liked that too. A few other tips. Have a few things that when you wake up in the morning and you have to get yourself out of bed and you feel really sleepy and tired, have a few things that you look forward to doing. So I think about my favorite fuzzy socks. I have them on. You want to see them? I think about putting my favorite fuzzy socks on when I get up. I think about my coffee. Oh my gosh, I love my coffee. I think about drinking that. Riley's laughing at me. My little Riley is next to me, but he doesn't feel like being on camera this early. I love my coffee, so I think about sitting and drinking my coffee. I think about being able to go outside. Yeah, I actually wanted to do this outside this morning, but here where I am, it's a little too damp and foggy, but it's supposed to get nice. Hey, Carrie, yes, your coffee, right? So little things like that. I think about the experience of sitting and drinking my coffee in my fuzzy socks, and depending on the weather, maybe my favorite sweatshirt. And I think about what that's going to feel like, and that helps me to get up. I think about how I can move through my day slower, at least start slower if I get up now, and then if I don't, it's going to be much more rushed. And when I think about that and I feel that, I get more excited to get up, right? So little things. Hey, Monique, walking your dog. Yes, another great one to really think of and to own and to be like, oh, yes, I'm be doing that. It's going to feel good. Another thing that I do is I think about how the state that I'm in of sleepiness, that feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't get up. I need to go back into sleep. I'm still there in sleep. I remind myself that that state is going to go away within minutes. As soon as I get up and I just start going into my routine, that's why it's important to have routine too. You don't want to be thinking too hard, right? First thing in the morning, before you have your coffee, you don't want to be thinking so hard. No. So you just get up and you start moving and you start doing things, and pretty soon that feeling of super sleepy, it's not something you're going to fight all day. It's something you're going to fight for a few minutes, right? But to me, as soon as I get up and I have my feet on the floor, I'm ready to go. I might not be alert and awake or even in a good mood yet, but I'm awake and I'm up and I'm starting. And I also think starting with that meditation, I really like having something for my brain to focus on and to bring me into a positive space. So I'm not just battling with myself over whether I should get up in 10 minutes or I should get up now. I get up every morning sometime between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. And it really depends on what I have ahead of me and what I had the night before. So if I had to work later, if I worked until like 10 p.m. or something, I might not get up till 6 if I don't have a morning where I have to be anywhere super early. But for the most part, I get up between 5 and 5:30. And if I'm not feeling well or something, I'll go back to sleep. But honestly, even if I'm not, the idea of not being able to have, hey Megan, of not being able to have that space for myself in the morning just doesn't feel great because I know that serves me so much better. People are always telling me, oh my gosh, but it's so nice that you get up so early. I'm really not a morning person. And I'm like, well, neither am I. I had to become one. I had to train myself to be one. And when that alarm goes off, I do not feel like a morning person ever. My mom, I don't think she's here yet, but my mother wakes up every morning like people on commercials where they're like stretching and wide awake and alert and just gets up. And I'm always like, how on earth do you do that? But that's not me. I don't feel that way. So I do have to ease in. So really doing this challenge and finding the time, like find your magic time and have a few different times that you know you can get up What's the latest you can get up? What's the earliest? What do you have in your day? Is it really busy? Do you have a lot going on? Probably want to get up a little earlier. Is it a slower day? You don't have as much to do? Then give yourself a little bit more time. But don't be sacrificing that time for yourself, because again, I'll say it as many times as I possibly can. You need to fill up your own cup. And if you get to do that first thing in the morning, every morning, and then go through your day, it's going to feel so much different as you're filling up everyone else's cup. And that time, becomes non-negotiable, where once you start going through your day, you're going to negotiate it away. Well, I got to do this instead. Oh, I'll skip doing this, right? So it's really important to commit to that.